Hi guys, this is Hassan Butt again, your tutor, mentor, facilitator, instructor and teacher. In the last class we talked about economies of scale. Today we'll talk about diseconomies of scale. It is exactly opposite of economies of scale. Economies of scale, as we discussed, that they are the advantages enjoyed by large scale businesses, whereas diseconomies of scale are the disadvantages which are experienced by large scale businesses. Like when business gets bigger, they have certain disadvantages in expanding. So we'll be discussing those, and as a result, the average cost goes up rather than going down, right? So that is why it is a disadvantage. So the last line of each type of diseconomy of scale would be that it would lead to higher average cost. Remember that, okay, when you will be doing your analysis. Okay, the first diseconomy of scale could be poor communication. When business gets bigger, it is difficult to communicate to each and every one, every individual, every employee in the organization. So what happens? Communication becomes ineffective and employees might not be able to know what is told to them or what is their role in achieving the targets. And as a result, that leads to inefficiency or employees make mistakes that increases the average cost of the business. Okay, second diseconomy of scale could be lack of control, or we can say management problem. When business gets big, managers are not able to manage the resources effectively. Like there is land available, labor, capital, enterprise, but because the business size is so large that the managers are not able to handle it properly, and there is a problem there in that case. So what happens? The resources are not used efficiently, and that leads to higher average cost because of lower productivity. Let's say there is a piece of land available, but manager is not able to utilize that land. Or let's say there is a shop available and there is a specific area in that shop which is not being used. So obviously that will lead to higher average cost. Why? Because the rent of the shop would be the same, but still you are not using one particular portion of the shop. So obviously the average cost would go up because the rent of the building would be divided among lower units which are being sold in that shop. Or we can take an example of a factory as well. If all the area of the factory is not being utilized effectively, the rent of the factory would be distributed among lower units. So obviously it will increase the average cost of the business. Had the empty space been utilized, it would have been much better in terms of average cost. Okay, the third one is demotivation or low morale of workers. And why it is so? Because there is a gap between management and employees. Management cannot meet workers on daily basis. Even management sometimes does not know about each and every employee. So when employees are performing well, they feel that they are not being recognized in the manner they should be. So there is lack of human touch, and manager cannot meet every employee individually. That is why the gap always remains there between management and employee, and that makes the employees demotivated. That we are putting a lot of effort, but we are not getting a word of appreciation from the manager. Or because once manager meets an employee personally and appreciates the performance of the employee, obviously an employee personally and appreciates the performance of the employee, obviously it affects the employee's performance positively, and obviously it boosts the morale of the employee as well. So what happens? Employees lose focus, and that reduces labor productivity. And when there is lower labor productivity, obviously average cost of the product would go up. I told you earlier that ending point of each type of diseconomy of scale would be higher average cost. And another way could be that if employees are not focused, they are likely to make mistakes, and again cost of rework will be involved. This would also increase the average cost of the business. Last but not the least, that is weak coordination. You know that in a business there are commonly 4 departments: finance department, marketing department, operations department, and HR department. So if they are not working together to achieve a common objective of the business, there will be a problem. Business can't meet their objective successfully. Think about that there is a marketing department, okay, and marketing department is advertising for a product, okay, to promote that product. But operations department is not producing it at the right time. The product is not available at the right time at the place from where people can buy it conveniently. There is a problem. Goods won't be sold. Okay, so goods would be stored somewhere for a long time. That would increase the average cost because rent needs to be paid for the storage, right? And because the goods are not being sold, or maybe the goods might be lying there for a longer time period because the goods were not available at the place or at the time when people needed it. So it would increase the average cost of the business as well. Alright, so these are the 4 different types of diseconomy of scale. Thank you very much. See you in the next class. Bye bye.